engaging yourself in human rights activities in the first place?
I'm always asked that question, and for me, it was almost inevitable that I will become engaged or committed to the defense of human rights. I was born in Nicaragua. My birth country lived under a dictatorship for 43 years. So through my childhood and my adolescence, I lived under an oppressive government, and I became very conscious of the inequities that exist between the global north and the global south, since Nicaragua was a very poor country, and today Nicaragua is the second poorest country in the hemisphere. So very early on I decided that I wanted to work on human rights issues, and I obtained a scholarship, and I went to live and study political science in Paris with a scholarship from the from the French government.
Well, now we have seen the World Future Council releasing today. What is their speciality? What do you aim to do with them together? What are your goals?
I think what's unique about the World Future Council is the fact that you have here an organization of people from many parts of the world, from the global north and the global south are represented, with many different religions, ethnicities, and people who have all been working either on civil societies, scientists, politicians, financiers, environmental lobbyists, and campaigners, and human rights campaigners like myself. I have always felt that somehow there was a kind of division. We were a splinter, and I have always believed that there was a necessity to understand that you couldn't really speak about human rights without speaking about a sustainable development, that you couldn't speak if you were not going to speak about the protection of the environment, and vice versa. You couldn't really speak about the environment and sustainable development and the protection of the environment if you didn't really talk about human rights, and you couldn't really address the issue of eradication of poverty unless you dealt with all of that or that. So many of those things are the symptoms of the way that the world has been managed, run by politicians, by corporations, by special interests that didn't have at heart the interests of the earth, of the planet, and particularly of the people.
We have the G8 summit here in Germany in a few weeks. If you personally could address Ms. Merkel or the other leaders of the world, what would you personally say if you could claim anything to them personally?
I will say the time has come to be serious and to be real in your responses to what needs to be done in the world today, whether it is tackling the issue of climate chaos, and as well the moment has come, and I hope that Chancellor Merkel will take this opportunity to really address the issue of the eradication of poverty. The promises that were made in Gleneagle to the developing world within the Making Poverty History campaign have been, they have failed. They have not even been able to fulfill the promises that they made 30 years ago about 0.07% of the GDP. That is still not fulfilled. And of course, even if they were to fulfill that, that is not enough. But one really overriding important issue that needs to be addressed is to rethink, to reform the international financial institutions that in many ways have contributed to subjugate the developing world.